If you missed class today, you can take a look at what we reviewed on note-taking. I'll go through this fairly briefly. You're responsible for the thing on the very last slide. So I'll go through these first slides fairly quickly, and we'll look at this again tomorrow. There are 5 stages of taking notes, and I'm going to talk about why there's 5 stages of something that you thought might have been just a one-day activity. So here's a scenario. You're in class at a meeting, you're asked to take notes. You get out paper and pen and you write stuff down, but why are you doing that? When will you ever use that information again? Do you need to write it down? If you're like most people, no one taught you. It was assumed you knew. However, useful note-taking must be learned, must be purposeful, and must be practiced. And this is why. Because there's this thing called the rate of forgetting. Without repetition or looking back and hearing again, people forget. Within 20 minutes, you only retain 58% of what you heard. Within 1 hour, you only remember 44%, and in 2 days, you're down to a mere 30. However, with continuous study and repetition, folks can retain within 1 day 70% of what they heard. That goes up in a week. Why? Because you looked at your information again and you sorted through it. In a week, you're remembering 80%. And with repeated exposure to the same material and rethinking about why and what you wrote in a month, you've remembered 90% of that. To see the chart, watch this video below. It's a 2.5-minute video. Please watch it. There are 5 phases of effective note-taking. The first is simply taking the notes. Secondly, I'll talk about processing the notes. Then I'm going to talk about connecting the thinking, which is where things really start to work and happen. Then you summarize and reflect. Aha, I just thought of this. And then you apply your learning. So we're going to learn how to take notes because it's a life skill. You're going to learn how to listen and write down what you need. Let's quit wasting time. Then you're going to seek out reinforcing material that might, through collaboration, help you remember what you need to know. And then you'll apply what you've learned to what you already know. So the first stage is learning how to process notes. This is not a one-time endeavor. You're going to take notes and think about why you chose to highlight certain ideas. You're going to sort, organize, and clarify what you mean, and you're going to do it early and often. So after you take notes, you go back and look at them again and sort out ideas. Then you connect your thinking. Because connections aid your memory. You use what's called a metacognition, which is thinking about what you were thinking. What the heck was I thinking? And I wrote that down. Oh yeah, then you can add to your notes. This helps you become creative thinkers. And in that, I mean, draw some diagrams. Make things readable for you later. And then think about the connections that you can make if you talk about your notes with others and strengthen relationships. Fourthly, you're going to summarize and reflect. Because summarizing organizes your ideas that you'll understand later. And reflecting helps you make sense and make connections of what was said before. Lastly, we will apply learning. Our note-taking is not going to be done just to use that paper and to get you to do the eye-hand connection, which is good for you, but it's more than that. We're going to show what you know. Your notes are going to be a resource. They're going to help you to pass a test because we've made use of them. They're going to help you to make presentations because you know your notes like the back of your hand. They're going to help you in a scenario without your notes to talk about what you know. And they're going to help you collaborate with others, and plain and simple, just to be interesting and to have a voice, because first you wrote it down and then thought about what you wrote. So for tonight, this is what you will do. This is the last screen. Before class tomorrow, watch the video clips below. One's an instructional video, Why Cats Act So Weird. It's cute. And the second one is the battle from the novel we read, The Hobbit, that 5 war battle, and you're going to jot down notes from both of those. Please use separate sheets of paper, and please do it on paper. I want you to just write down the best, most meaningful notes, knowing that it's going to be expected that you write other things on that piece of paper and draw lines and mess them up and cross out things and add things. So these are just beginning notes. Don't worry about what you write, but write something down, bring it to class tomorrow, and we'll take it from there. All right, thanks. Have a great evening.